Hi everybody, I'm Amy from the Cauldron, and you know I don't like to waste any dye. So I have here some turquoise, which is a fibre reactive dye from Dharma. There's approximately 100 millilitres left in here. I don't know how much I originally mixed this in, but there was 2 grams of dye that I mixed in here. I don't know how much of that is left now. So just pouring it all in here. I hate wasting any dye. There is vinegar in here already, and what I would like to attempt to do is to dip dye this sock blank. Now this sock blank is 75% Superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it is double stranded. So I don't know if you can see on camera, but you can see here at the end, there's 2 strands here. That means the 2 strands have been knit together. So when you unravel this, it will create 2 matched sets of 50 grams of yarn. It does roll in on itself, this stitch. It's stocking stitch, which rolls in on itself. So I'm just slowly trying to dip this in, trying to make a fade. This yarn has been soaking in water. Did I say that? I did squeeze out what I could, but there's probably more in there that could be squeezed out. I was using this fibre reactive dye in another project, and fibre reactive dyes start reacting with water as soon as it comes into contact with water. So the longer you leave it in the water, the less pigment you'll actually get on your end garment and fabric, whatever it is you're dyeing. So that's why I don't keep stock solutions of fibre reactive dyes, just of acid dyes. Now this is an animal fibre, so you can use fibre reactive and acid dyes to dye this, which is great. You just need heat and water, heat and vinegar. And there's I think I put 3 tablespoons of vinegar in here. Yeah, this doesn't seem to be getting any paler. So I'm starting to wonder if this was maybe a bit too ambitious. I don't know, it might not be such a nice fade with a really deep blue at that end and a very pale blue that end. Might be a bit more subtle than that. I'm just dipping it in and out like this so there's not a line going up here where the colour fades. Not fades, where the colour changes when I've added a bit more yarn in here. I mean, that is a beautiful turquoise at the bottom. I am already dreading washing this because turquoise is a bleeder. And I have a feeling that I have used way too much turquoise in this project and the other project that I originally had the turquoise for. All right, let me just put that there for now. Ah, the cupboards are falling out at me. Everything's falling out. Okay, I've got my tongs, and I think I'm just going to leave it like that for now, because I've got another project going on in the corner there. That's a fade set, and I need to add another skein to that now. This has been sitting here for about 5 minutes now. Oops. And it still doesn't look like the colour is really absorbing that much of the yarn. I think I'll add a little bit more in. I'll just add a little bit of, okay, I've added a little bit of, bare yarn in, and it does look a little bit fader. So it does look a little bit lighter. So I think I'm just gonna, I didn't want to do it this way, but this is taking a lot longer than I had anticipated. So I'm probably going to have to do it this way, as this is not clearing as quickly as I had. I think it's a little bit paler, but I think if I just added the rest of the yarn in, it might not be quite as dark as that gorgeous dark yarn at the bottom, but I don't think the fade is going to be particularly dramatic. I'm trying to spread this out on here, but I don't think it's really gonna work. This stocking stitch does roll in on itself. Stay like that. There we go. We'll see how this goes. I think this is just a slow dye, and I'm getting very impatient now. This is what happens when I just make up what I'm doing as I go along. I hadn't planned on dip dyeing this yarn. I'd actually planned on doing another project with this sock blank. But you know how I am about plans and following through with them. I think I'll leave it like this for another 5 minutes, and then I'll come and let in a little bit more of the yarn. It's been about 5 minutes, and I really don't like that line there. So I'm going to start wiggling it in again. I don't like that line. That's what I wanted to avoid. So I'm just going to wiggle it about now. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I can't just stand there. I can't let that be there anymore. I think the dye is getting paler. Annoyed. I'm really annoyed with this. There you go. It's not looking quite so sharp now. But this is what I've wanted to avoid. Maybe if I can't get rid of that sharp line, I will over dye this with something else. Yeah, that is definitely clearing that water. I can see down to the bottom now. And see, that's looking quite pale now if I dip all that in. So cross with myself with that. I don't normally... Oh, hopefully it won't be too visible. I think I'm going to dump the rest of it in now. It is clearing, and I'm going to leave this for probably about half an hour now. Hopefully that will be enough time for the rest of that dye to absorb to the yarn. Oh, so mad with myself for that. What do you think? Do you think that ruins the dip dye effect, or do you like it? I don't know. I'm annoyed with myself, but hopefully it will still turn out lovely. We will see. This has been on the heat for about half an hour now, and it looks like most of the yarn dye is in the yarn. You can see there's still a little bit of colour left in there, but nowhere near what it was. Just looking to see if we can still see that line. Yeah, can still see that line just in there. Annoying, but it is what it is at this point. Hopefully it won't annoy me as much when this thing's dry. So I'm just going to turn this off the heat and leave it to cool so that I can dry it. Not dry it, wash it, and then hang it out to dry. This has cooled down now. So let's have a little look. Doesn't look like there is any colour left in that water. Seems to be a little bit of staining on the inside of here, if you can see. I'll have to wash that. So I'm just going to run this under some cold tap water. Hopefully there won't be any bleeding. I know turquoise is a bit of a bleeder, but no dye left in the pot gives me hope. Yeah, I think that might be running clear. Brilliant. I'm just going to add a little bit of washing up liquid to this sock blank. Just going to see, I can still see that line, but I don't think it's quite as strong. I don't think it's quite as obvious as I think it is. And ooh, it looks like all the colour is in the yarn and it's not coming out. I really, really hope so. I don't want to be standing here washing this all night. I don't think there is any colour coming out of this, but since it is turquoise, I am going to give it a few more washes just because I know this can be a temperamental colour, but this is actually giving me hope. Maybe it's just a bit of a bleeder when it is on cotton yarn or cotton fabric and not animal fibres. I'm not sure, but I am going to give it a rinse through a couple more times and then I can hang it up to dry.
And here is the finished sock blank. I've got it scrunched up like this because my light box isn't big enough to have this stretched out. But I think it gives a really, you can really see the colour progression from this deepest end to the lightest end there. I think it's lovely. And I can just straighten this bit out for a minute. I can still see that line there, but it doesn't bother me like it did because it's not as solid as I thought it was, and it's also not as straight as I thought it was either. So when this is unravelled and made into something else, it's very unlikely that that will even be noticeable. This end is definitely a lighter shade of this colour. This end has not broken because this is a primary, so there is only one colour molecule in this dye. And I really love how this has turned out. It reminds me of the sea. I kind of want to keep it like this, and then I've seen these beautiful crochet blankets where it's sort of blue and then it fades into sort of a yellowy colour to make it look like the beach, and then they've added little crochet animals and sea creatures in the blue section to make it look like it's in the sea, and I kind of want to keep it like that actually. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Do please click like and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Would you like me to dip dye a sock blank again? And if you do, which colour should I dip dye it in? I've got a lot of colours to choose from. I publish a new video every Monday, usually about 6 PM UK time, and I try to do different things in my videos each week, so there should always be something fun and interesting to watch. Thank you so much for watching.